My former Facebook friend Anastasia Igorova is doing with Openlongevity, her organization, and I'm basically just gonna let her speak. I'm not gonna do a lot of monologuing over it or interjections or anything. I just want to let her speak, and this allows me to get her out onto Gab and things of that nature. And it's important to me that more people than just me know what she's saying and why it's important what she's saying. So here we go. This is her latest video on Instagram here.
Surprisingly so, it seems like a cure for old age is getting further and further from us. We would expect otherwise. The scientists are doing their job. Some discoveries are being made. The scientists are publishing the results of their work. Some results are even being introduced into the clinical practice. But when it comes to aging, our understanding of it is sort of shrinking because the field of the unknown is growing dramatically. Every discovery is opening a door. And there are thousands of doors behind this door and thousands of doors behind these doors. We first thought that aging is as easy as the shortening of telomeres, but now we learn some new stuff and we realize it's not that easy. 9 hallmarks of aging? Nope, definitely not just 9. Like extracellular matrix input or the role of the transposons. And it's great that we are learning new things about aging biology. It's just with every new discovery we realize how much new research needs to be done. How do we answer to this problem of the growing unknown? Me and you, have been running out of time, even without this thought. Also, we ourselves are getting older, and this process is too accelerating with every year. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, or do I? But, as a humanity, we need to come up with an acceleration solution too, with accelerating quantum direction there. Preferably, we need an exponential growth of the number of the researchers and the experiments in the field. But it's easier said than done, because you need funding, and you need exponential funding for all these new scientists. You can ask anyone in the field how easy is that, especially if you're trying to fundraise for the open, non-commercial research. Still, we need the growth, with an exponential growth. How do we do that? Well, we Openlongevity, we have a theory how to fix it, and we want to test this theory, test it with you, with your help. We think that we need an extensive growth of community, and we need to show it. Community of people who are into life extension ideas, who thinks that there's nothing more valuable than the lives of people who are already born, who thinks that it's absolutely stupid not to try to stay alive, though the chances are quite low, we understand that, but the possible outcome worth it. We need scientists, of course, medical doctors and biologists. We also need lawyers, IT people, marketing specialists, artists of any sorts. There are a lot of tasks for everyone. Yes, of course, we would need research in the end, but all these guys, they might help. There are a lot of things to do for you, like spread the idea, develop a newer tool for collaboration research, maybe write a script, create a TV show that will shift the mindsets of the people in power. We think that visible, extensive growth of community will help grow the field exponentially. And frankly, we don't see how we can do it any other way. So join Openlongevity or any other life extension community, like whatever you like more, but make it visible.
I opened my first video on Let's Tour Openlongevity with this video, but I think it's a good video, and I'd like to put it in here just to help her get her word out. I also want people to understand, this whole thing, this life extension process, this is not as far-fetched as people think. It is backed by science, and when I cover Maria Konovalenko in her Dark Matter of Transhumanism video, I'm really gonna point that out. It's very interesting where we are getting with this, and it's just interesting. But I'm gonna let Anastasia speak again here.
There's one problem we usually face in life extension community and life extension field. A weird ask from potential sponsors, potential volunteers, from people who are being introduced to the ideas just first time. they usually ask for, better proof that it's possible. That it's actually possible to extend human lifespan, especially dramatically, especially crossing, natural threshold, and preferably on human, of course. Yeah, I understand that, but let's take a look at it from a different perspective. Imagine a person drowning, just he or she just fell into the water, asking for help, looking, at us on the beach, and we're like, yeah, sure, we'd like to save you, of course, but maybe show us some proof first. Prove that it's possible to save you. Like, what? We don't do that. We don't do that in our lives, right? Because we value the human life. When the question is about, life extension technologies and anti-aging, for some reason we're asking for some proof here. We don't need to prove that it's possible. We need to prove otherwise, that it is impossible to save humans. It is impossible to extend human lifespan. And when or if we do that, yeah, we probably might stop. But unless we do that, we need to try. You just need to understand what you value here. And if it's human life or your personal life you value most, then you need to try. Easy as that. You don't need any other proof. You just need to understand what your values are.
So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Anastasia replaced Maria as the vice president for the Science for Life Extension Foundation. The reason I know who Anastasia is because of Maria Konovalenko. I became friends with Maria after meeting her on LinkedIn. I don't know either of these women. I want to make sure that people understand that I'm not personal friends of theirs. They in no way share any other interests of mine that I'm aware of besides life extension, before people try to lump them in with me politically or anything like that. I don't know them on a personal level. I've briefly spoken to them. I'm not, good friends with them. But we have the same goal, and that goal is life extension. That goal is to save humanity from the diseases that incur due to old age. And I might be a layman, but whatever I can do to help them, I will do. And that's actually how I met Maria, and how I met Anastasia was when I met Maria. We met because we were, the algorithm on LinkedIn put us together because we were both transhumanists. And when I saw what Maria was doing, I asked her flat out, I said, how can I help you do what you're doing? And she told me to start a Facebook account and share her research and share what she does. And I decided, well, that's what I'm doing because this is extremely important to me. And I'm going to show you this video. This is her as the Vice President of the Science for Life Extension Foundation, which I believe, although Anastasia is also the co-founder of Openlongevity, I think she is actually still the Vice President of the Science for Life Extension Foundation. But I might be mistaken. I don't think I am. Also, anybody that's familiar with the 1980s cartoon G.I. Joe or the character The Baroness, I always tried to encourage Maria to be the Baroness for Halloween. Or if you're familiar with X-Men and the White Queen, when she's blonde, she actually looks like Emma Frost from the old X-Men comics. But here we go. This is Maria Konovalenko, and this is her talking as the Vice President of the Science for Life Extension Foundation. And we're going to let her speak and let her talk about the importance of understanding aging and the process of aging and why this is important to us, okay?
My name is Maria. I'd like to tell you about a major issue. It's your personal concern. It's the concern of your nearest and dearest, of all the people living on the planet. It's inevitable absolutely for everybody, but surprisingly little is known about it. It's not a common practice to talk about this problem and, moreover, to try to solve it. What do you think about 30 million lives? Just imagine that all the people in Denmark, Austria, Finland, Israel, and New Zealand disappeared in 1 year. Would you consider it a problem? But no one pays attention. The catastrophe happens daily. 100,000 deaths a day is normal. AIDS, hunger, and flu virus, in terms of mortality, are not even remotely comparable to the problem I'd like to tell you about. I'm talking about aging. It is aging that causes most diseases. It causes pain and suffering, brings frailty and loneliness. Aging is the main cause of death. Nobody truly and explicitly knows why it is happening. There are many hypotheses. Maybe aging is mediated by telomere shortening. Perhaps it's associated with oxidative stress, or with cell loss, or with functional changes in the biological systems of an organism. We need to learn a lot. Why do animals with negligible senescence exist? Are there any cell-destructive programs encrypted in our genome? There are many puzzles and mysteries in the mechanisms of aging. Equally puzzling is why the fight against aging is not on the world's agenda. Are just a few people interested in why we're aging? There are plenty of ideas about how to prolong life, how to prolong youth, how to make a human being potentially healthier and hence happier. For that, we must learn to ensure genome stability, to normalize gene expression, to influence protein turnover processes, to resist cellular aging and accumulation of damage in a cell and extracellular matrix. We must learn how to restore immunity and hormonal regulation. Grand scientific breakthroughs have already been made. Researchers are able to...
Now take note, a lot of that is being handled right, or wants to be handled right now by Openlongevity. These are all things that Openlongevity plans on researching. And I thought it was really interesting. The last video I made, I think it was about the Longevity University, I thought was brilliant. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And it's something I would definitely attend. I think it's very worthwhile. But I'm going to let Maria finish here.
Program cells to influence epigenetic regulation, to grow new organs, to significantly extend lifespan of model animals. However, it's the fundamental biogerontology that receives little funding. And it's all because the most important thing is missing. There is no political will. The world is in need of a mega project on the fight against aging. It's the most complicated task in the human history. Individuals cannot accomplish it. Scientific mobilization is needed. Even a partial slowdown of aging could save hundreds of millions of human lives. It's hard to think of a more honorable political task. There are people now preparing an expedition to Mars. I'd like to propose another trip to you. Let's visit the year 2100. I'd also like to remind Oscar Wilde's words to all who still doubt. Nothing is worth doing except what the world says is impossible. Many of what was declared science fiction is reality today, and it's only up to you if you're going to become the traveler to the future. Let's solve this problem together. My name is Maria Konovalenko, and I represent the Science for Life Extension Foundation.
Drinking warm water before